she had the top of the half of the old jars. The old jars would go up like this, and the little teeny tiny handle on like that. And the top half of the jar was cut off, and it would be the top. You keep your cheese on that little bit. So she had a little special little needle that she burned the shit out of first before she put it in the way, and the hash would always sit right there. And you like that? Just take the top off the bottle and eat it.
Now I want to play some music that they should have been playing
Why
inside.
was you out here? Because I've been homeless for 10 years. I've been out here staying with my mom, but she lost the house.
10 years?
10 years, Jeremy. 10 years.
What happened? You said your mom lost the house?
Well, they couldn't afford for me to stay in the house. I have a little brother, little sister that came along after I turned 17. Their life is different. Even though her new husband came first, all of a sudden, he said, this is your daughter. She's not my blood. I want her out. Get her out. So she said, oh, baby, okay, get out. My little brother was like 38-year-old. So.
Have you been out here that long? 10 years?
I've been in Sacramento since the year 2000. I have been homeless and bouncing around since.
So that's 12 years.
I like to stick with the 10-year tenor because, it's
10
like...
for 20 more, right?
The fact that you could throw the word decade in with that is just, it's disturbing. So when you hit 12, I kind of get a little weak in the knees, guys.
Well, here's my question. What?
Just he needs you out here for me. That's all.
God.
Oh yeah.
Fucking, what did you do? Go to Amsterdam?
Oh no, my homeboy cooks this in fucking Citrus Heights, girl.
No, I don't want any of that. I don't.
It's hash.
Because I realize that, but the thing is that they will smell it over the weed, dude, and they will come to my cart and they will make sure that everything I have is covered.
Who?
The people out here in the street?
Really?
Dude, I don't have any money in my pockets when I go to bed. I do not have a cell phone when I go to sleep. At all.
I should go write the number down on my limo so you get a better ride.
For the umpteenth time,
All right.
wake up with the fucking being there. They're taking the shoes off my feet, the almost damn near rotten cottage cheese that I would have to have for breakfast next to my head, and my cross-stitch patterns that I was working on for my twins, my son and my daughter.
You have kids?
Yes, I do. They are in Fresno.
Okay, not with your kids. No,
of course not. Hell no.
Maybe
Okay, well,
Daddy is still locked up with Tracy at this time.
Your old Nana's and Tracy?
They are with their foster parents. They wouldn't let them stay with the father's side, and I did not want to get my mother's side of the family involved because, her husband's just too twitchy for me. If someone's going to come to me and say, you're not my blood, I want you to get the fuck out of 17 when you know I'm not ready, which is because your kids are more important.
They kicked you out of the house at 17? Is that why?
You aren't going to see your grandkids from your bitch. And not that he would want to anyway. You don't think I want my kids in this house, do you? I would.
You know what?
Just because my mom's there just does not make me feel uncomfortable because she's obviously going with his role.
You know what?
I love my mother.
If you were my sister, we
don't understand. My mother cries all the time.
No, but
dude, she does the fucking weeping willow thing all day long.
And
I love her,
this would get me in trouble. I tell you what, homie. I would go and like, if you know, like one of these people that stole your shit, you know who they are.
I sleep very heavy by the time I get there because I'm usually up for 2 or 3 days at a time because I know it's coming eventually at some point.
Okay, well, what I'm saying,
where do you?
If you knew who it was,
they find all the different times and the best times to fuck me off.
Well, see, if you knew who it was, then I can see putting on a mask and like smashing the fucking shit out of them, and then saying if you ever fuck with this shit again, I'm gonna fucking kill you, dog.
If I knew for sure who it was, I would
just gonna be laying there and just wake up and everything that they be out there struggling with.
Without even asking you if I could.
I get all the deep. I mean, it's sad. You know what I mean? It's just too much that they don't have to deal with.
Sure, you would gather peace of mind.
They don't give them a real break.
But if you need it, I would even.
A shelter is just a shelter they can go in. A place to eat is just a bite. But the help that they can really provide for these people out here, they don't want to do it. They prefer to stay out here and stay confused and like you said, being in a garbage.
I can't look up every 5 seconds and do the tweet thing and get some money. It just doesn't work.
Why are you on the street, really?
Because I lost my job in Monterey. I was working there. I was there for 5 years. The medical office I worked for, the head administrator was not only screwing the doctor's wife but everybody in the office, and he ended up embezzling $800,000, fraudulently billing Medicare.
And that fucked you and sent you on your slide?
That, well, yeah, because I was making $15 an hour as a supervisor for the front desk.
Man.
And they said, bye-bye. Everybody that gets paid the higher bracket, you've got to go. They gave us some billing jobs in the back for as long as they could, but they eventually had to claim bankruptcy because he really screwed the whole thing. They had just opened a new office across the street to be able to keep all the patients in-house instead of having to send them out.
Since
the
then,
insurance companies screw them too, as well as the doctors not paying them.
Since then, it's been downhill for you? Since then,
it's been very downhill for me. I had another job, worked at Planet Gemini. I used to get to see George Lopez all the fucking time. All the time. And he was funny as hell. Good money too, by the way. Salinas is just right across the way, and all the Chicanos and Tejanos would all show up and just love to pay good money. But that wasn't very well because it was, pregnancy leave for the girl that was there. So once that was done about probably 2 months after I got laid off. Monterey is not inexpensive. They don't have like a job recession. They never have a job recession like the rest of California does, but they're always recessed.
So, I mean,
they just always pretty much don't like you.
If it was a job available and some kind of extra assistance, would it keep you off the street?
Not extra assistance. It's got to be in what I know that I can do. And you're either going to train me and I'm going to be able to do it, or I've got to be able to pay a rent and one bill. All the jobs that I've tried for, with the exception of In-N-Out Burger, I could have paid the rent and one bill. The fact that they were a Christian Fellowship, based company, didn't make me feel any better about applying. But at the same time, I thought, well, shit. I'll at least get some opportunity. I'll get my footing somewhere to go somewhere else. They wouldn't even talk to me. Not at all. They would not even talk to me when I went in to hand my application. No, you have to send it to corporate. No. Do you know how many people I've talked to? From here to Marin County and back. And down to Southern California when I went down there for a little while to try something, but there's an area down there that just I can't do it. I just, what did they call that? I can't remember. I can't remember. I can picture it in my head. It's very disturbing. Dude, when there's a rat running by your knees every 3 minutes when you go to eat dinner down there, Skid Row, all down there by, which is, there's lots of food everybody's taking care of, but there's a lot of things that have happened down there that's just like really, is really very eerie. And like, when a pregnant woman gets slaughtered 2 blocks down and they show me and keep telling me about it, pointing after it, I get the jitters. I don't like it. I stay for a little while, but you can't go everywhere all the time. You can't just keep going around.
Sometimes you gotta see some of these things out here just to really know it's there, sad as it may be.
Well, here's my question. When it gets really cold out here, and I know weather conditions can be tough. I mean, hot.
Keep moving.
Really?
You say it's bitch ass cold and you keep moving. If you stop and you can't get warm, you're gonna freeze your ass off. You're gonna get sick and you're gonna be even more miserable and you're gonna do something stupid if you do that every night. Some people, there's no like adaptation that I can zero in on. Every human is different. Everybody is different and everybody, kind of adapts to change or not. Some people just don't ever adapt to anything, but they just go on in a certain way or have to go on that way. But, some people are better off, I'm better off if I do this, or, I'm not. It depends on, it doesn't, it's such a fucking wide scope, but I have to keep moving, no matter what.
Personally, it's very sad for me to hear that. I wanted to ask you.
I have to find something to do because I don't trust anybody, and there's too many things that have happened in the
That's what I was going to ask you next.
In broad daylight.
That's going to ask you next. It's got to be hard out here for you because you are a woman.
It's that much harder, and people say it should be that much easier. It's funny how I get that lack there of friction where there should be some.
I would say so in a lot of respects.
Well, yeah, because you could do this and you could do that,
exactly.
but at the same time, I don't bank on the fact that the weaker sex has more power. However anybody looks at it, there is no point. There's just, if you're split tail, you're a split tail. Hey, you're gonna get bent over. Period. You're gonna get bent over. Somebody's gonna want to bend you over. When you're in a vulnerable position, and especially a woman, you're not just gonna run into it. You're gonna get not just eyeballed. You're automatically zeroed in on it. Period. And it's not just because you're a woman. It's because you are already automatically on the level of vulnerability because of your sex. And then you're in a vulnerable, not only just position, you're out there in vulnerable space and air at that time because you got shit at the time. Even if it could be the one person that has everything and looks that way. It's not about an appearance. There's not so much body language. There's only so much that you can fake. If you're standing there and that there's any kind of, you know, any kind of jig in your soul that's kind of, you know, this not perfectly balanced with, you know, how you're walking on the fucking sidewalk. Target practice. I think that what's would be most valuable to any person, any young person, any young mind, any old, frail, fragile situation, no matter what side of the street you're not, you know, you haven't gotten to yet.
Hello.
Hello. Hey. Where the fuck is he?
He's at his house. My Jeep got stolen yesterday. Sometime yesterday.
Who stole his Jeep?
Oh, my Jeep.
I thought you said
The whole damn thing. But in any case, no matter what, information needs to be more. Okay. Good luck to you, honey. Where are you gonna be in a minute? Can you give me 2 minutes? I'm doing an interview and I'll be like, go to Hot Rods. I'll be right there. What was I saying? I don't know if it's the county. I don't know if it's because everybody's afraid or other people are thinking, you know, oh, this is going to happen. I don't know why. But it's not just lack of information or lack of sharing. All of a sudden, nobody wants to talk about not what can be done, but the availability and the actual information that is necessary to give to that person at the time. It sucks. There's no reason for 5 people to come up to me in one day and tell me how they just, you know, whole life, blah, 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 blah. I go to ask the same people, oh, we don't know what you're talking about. Not only we don't know what you're talking about, but stand there and look at me like I'm you in the country that's owning Africa right now, and you're gonna go out fucking personally ask them, you know, Dad, can you come help my family? You're gonna say fuck you. Automatically, you're gonna get that attitude anyway, even if they truly wanted you from their heart. They're gonna say fuck you. That's what you get out here when you go to ask for information. It's disturbing. Hey, Brad, you got that and even though women and children should come first, dude, I've seen a lot of ladies out there that are pregnant and do not get far enough.
I want to ask you one more question before you go.
It really sucks.
Well, like I said, this is I personally don't like hearing it, but on a day-to-day basis, on eating, I mean. To be out there struggling like you're struggling, are there some days you go without eating? Is there?
Oh, there's always periods of time that it's not about that there's no available strength for the want, but you do it anyway. I love food. I grew up cooking in my mom's kitchen.
Right.
You know, there's still 3 or 4 days in a row out of, I'll say, at least probably 2 weeks of every other month. Times found is kind of, you know, here and there. I don't have really written it down, but it's hard. It's you know, and it's not really that hard after you get used to however it is. You just kind of keep going. They do have a lot of food sources, but there's a lot of people that don't like to be around it sometimes, or they
throughout an average day, keep it 150.
Oh,
no,
no,
I mean, you know,
I don't get
I know a lot of homeless people out here.
Loaves of fishes are the latter part of where they go,
my brother was homeless for 30 years. Mm-hmm. He said it wasn't too many months that he didn't pull in at least $2,000.
You know what? There's no way that you can't, and I'm working on it.
I know it.
I can't say
so it ain't the fact
if I could do it.
It ain't the fact you can't eat, it's the fact that sometimes you don't want to eat.
It's the fact that you don't want to. And it's not just because you're outside of being homeless, it's because of a lot of
things that might be within.
That's very much the things that are already within. It's the animosity that you don't get a time to, you know, to kind of curb so that you can not have to curb your appetite instead.
Right.
I mean, it's, you know, that's just the only way I can explain it.
So what is your name?
Yvonne. My real first name is Helen.
Reverend Paul.
Uh-huh.
Reverend Paul.
Reverend Paul. God bless you. And, Helen Yvonne Presters is my name. I go by Yvonne, though. And, my husband's name is Norris Ray Pearson. I'm more not legally married to call him my husband anyway. I have 4 kids by the man. I'm not gonna not call him my husband. I'm not gonna let go of that. I'm never gonna let go of that man. If you know anybody that looks like Isaac Hayes, I can't deal with it. He just always. You know what I love about him? The reason why I cannot reconnect anywhere with anything, especially with anyone else, is because even when we were mad, Even with that, I would never. He would always get mad really easy. But he did 18 years. He's got 12 years on it. 18 years penitentiary before I ever met him. So he's got like a different, not really different state of mind. Same state of mind he's always had. But he reaches in and out of it, and then sometimes he doesn't reach in, and then he reaches out, and then he's of it, and then all of a sudden, he gets real pissed off real easy. Okay. When you say the N-word, if he even thinks he hears the vibration of the N-word, dude, he's kicking people's asses up and down the street. There's nothing I can do about that.
Yes, we were.
And I wasn't raised that way either. If I slipped and said it jokingly with somebody else, he would get in my face and tell me, he can't handle it. So, I was learned to, okay, that's fine. But, I mean, even when if he was mad at me and he was always, that mad, he would still, come here. And he would hold me all night long. He would still walk down the street with me and always hold my hand, no matter how pissed off he was, no matter how upset he was about something else. He would always stand next to me. Somebody would say, go, well, oh, hey, who are you? Or can I borrow your wife? It's my motherfucking wife. I stop and, you pretty much let him beat their ass. But I mean, that part never changed. And that's just, that's not just hard to come by. You need that.